I'm sure by now you've sat in at least two presentations from vendors who wanted to sell you AI solutions. Sounded great in the presentation, but when the implementation started, your finance, HR, and procurement teams were so confused with the solution that was being implemented, and today no one uses it at all. If you face this situation, comment "That's me" below. Most companies using AI today aren't really getting the value from it. And I see it every week. Businesses invest in AI hoping to fix broken processes and end up with more confusion. The invoices are still getting delayed, suppliers don't respond, and HR is still answering the same question. Why? Because the problem isn't the technology, it's how it's applied. AI fails when it's thrown at symptoms and not the root causes. And there's no one size fits all. There is no magic platform. And most of the time, the problem isn't the tool, it's that it was solving the wrong problem from the start. I am Noel Benjamin Dcosta. I've helped companies uncover over 700 million in hidden value just by changing how they select and use technology. Well, I've sat on both sides of the table as a CIO and as a transformation advisor across 10 industries, right from defense to manufacturing to public sector to small businesses. I've consolidated 15 ERP systems and built AI powered operations for business with anywhere from 5 to 25,000 employees. In this video, I'll show you exactly why AI fails and how to fix it, especially if your challenge sits in sales, in finance, in HR, or procurement. That's your lifeblood. Now, these aren't theories. They come from 20 plus years experience in the field, fixing broken technology strategies and delivering real outcomes. So let's start with where most AI rollouts go wrong and how to get yours back on track. So before you throw any more money at AI, understand this. Your projects don't fail because of the technology. I repeat, they don't fail because of the technology. They fail because of how they are scoped and executed. And here are five real reasons why AI breaks down in small and medium businesses. Number one, there is no clear use case. Most businesses start with the tool and not the problem. You buy an AI chatbot or a forecasting engine, but no one's defined the job it's supposed to do. A company added AI to their ERP to predict sales demand, but hadn't clarified what the demand meant. Was it by SKU? Was it by region or customer? The ERP data wasn't even segmented, and no one defined the business logic. So the AI generated just noise. There was no insight. It was abandoned within weeks. Not because it didn't work, but because no one set the scope right from the beginning. The second one is the data mess. If your supplier information, your invoices or policies are buried in PDFs somewhere here, old folders or mismatched ERP records, AI won't be able to help you. It's basically garbage in, garbage out. A procurement team tried using AI for vendor selection, but their ERP had duplicate supplier entries, blank pricing fields, and inconsistent PO terms. The AI couldn't make sense of it. What they needed wasn't an algorithm, it was first a data cleanup. And I go deeper into this in my video on the 7 data killers that can bankrupt your business. Check that out if that sounds familiar to you. No subject matter involvement. I've seen dozens of ERP AI projects where the people doing the actual work weren't even asked how they do it. One small and medium business deployed an AI assistant in their ERP to support HR with payroll and leave requests. It looked great in the demo, but the HR team wasn't consulted. The assistant misinterpreted the rules, flagged the wrong exceptions, and missed key policies. It was switched off in a month. It didn't reflect how the team actually worked. That was just a waste of money. The fourth one is overpromising and underplanning. You thought AI would just work, but there was no rollout plan. There was no training, no adoption, no feedback loop. That's not transformation, that's a failed deployment. A distribution business added an AI module to optimize their stock levels across their warehouses. The engine used historical data to recommend reorder points, but the planners didn't trust it. No one explained the assumptions, no one trained the users, so they ignored the output completely and went back to their manual overrides. The AI was technically sound, but the change management completely failed. The fifth one is lack of ownership. AI isn't a plug and forget. Someone has to monitor it, update it, and own the results. If no one's watching, it's just going to quietly fail. A manufacturer set up AI inside their ERP to flag supplier pricing anomalies. It worked until a contract update changed their baseline pricing, but no one updated the model. So the AI stopped flagging overcharges and no one noticed. Procurement trusted the system, but no one owned it. The costs quietly crept up. And that's how you lose money with AI that used to work. So that's where most AI projects go off the rails. And none of these are theoretical. They're all real world ERP failures that I've seen firsthand. Let's shift now and talk about where AI actually works when applied the right way. If you want your systems to deliver real ROI, not more than just dashboards, subscribe. I break these use cases down every week. Here are the exact areas where I've seen consistent results, real impact within 30 to 90 days when AI is applied in small and medium sized businesses. So let's look at the finance area first. So, my first one would be invoice capturing and processing. So, the AP team still spend hours manually entering the invoice data, checking for mismatches, and chasing approvals. AI takes unstructured voices, which could be in the form of PDFs, emails, and scanned documents, and extracts the supplier names, the PO numbers, tax amounts, and line items. It validates them against the ERP records and pushes the clean data directly into your ERP system. This alone can cut processing time by over 70% and reduce your entry errors dramatically. Second one for me would be expense reporting. Employees submit expenses in inconsistent formats, right? I'm guilty of that myself in the past. Reviewers check every line item manually for duplicates, late submissions, and policy violations. Now, what AI does is it scans each claim against the policy rules, the GL codes, and past entries, flagging issues before they even hit the ledger. It standardizes the reviews, reduces the back and forth, and speeds up approvals without expanding your team. The third one is cash flow forecasting. Most small businesses that I worked with still rely on spreadsheets to project cash, disconnected from live receivables, payables, and inventory. So, what AI can do over here, it can tap directly into your ERP's open AP and AR, pending purchase orders, and fulfillment schedules. It models the cash position dynamically, factoring in real customer payment behaviors and vendor terms. This turns your cash flow from guesswork to a real time control tool. So, if you want to focus on the HR side, my favorite would be the employee FAQs, right? Because HR gets buried answering the same repetitive questions, leave balances, policies, claims, onboarding steps, right? AI connects to your ERP's HR module and internal documentation and responds through a chatbot or an employee portal. It deflects up to 60% of those queries, freeing the HR team to focus on actual people issues. The second one would be the onboarding workflow automation. So new hires typically trigger a mess of disconnected systems. Emails to IT, document collection, manual follow-ups, AI coordinates all of these steps. It sends reminders, tracks responses, and ensures tasks get completed on time. You get a faster, more consistent onboarding process, and it's all logged into your ERP system. The third one would be resume screening, particularly for your recruiters, right? Most of the time, they're sifting through resumes manually in a slow and inconsistent manner, especially for recurring roles, right? AI passes incoming resumes, compares them to the job profiles in your ERP, and scores candidate based on their fit, past hiring patterns, and role specific requirements. It filters the top searches and feeds them straight into your recruitment workflow. Saves a hell of a lot of time, honestly. If you get into the procurement space, follow up with suppliers is a painful task. Buyers waste hours chasing vendors for confirmation, ETAs, and missing invoices. So, what AI does over here is AI monitors open POs in the ERP and triggers reminders automatically based on expected delivery dates and aging GRNs. It keeps the cycle moving without relying on a manual follow up. The second one could be quotation comparison, right? Vendors' quotes come in via email, PDFs, or Excel, making manual comparisons tedious and error prone. So AI can extract the pricing, the terms, and the delivery lead times from each quote and structures it into a side by side comparison into your ERP. It flags the best options automatically, helping buyers move faster and the negotiation gets better. And more importantly, the third one, which is your contract clause and risk detection. Most small and medium businesses don't review contracts for risks until something really goes wrong. So AI scans the contract documents linked to the supplier records in the ERP and flags missing clauses, the renewal deadlines, or terms that deviate from your standard. It acts like a contract co pilot, catching what humans miss. Now, these are not futuristic ideas. I've already seen them working inside small businesses, running on ERP platforms like SAP, in NetSuite, Odoo, and Dynamics 365 Business Central. These are the real bottlenecks, slowing teams down every week. And when AI is scoped right and embedded into ERP workflows, it fixes them fast. No fluff, just results. So if your AI rollout is stuck or failed entirely, don't scrap it. Most of the time, it's not the technology that's broken, it's the way it was set up. And here's how to fix it step by step with examples from real ERP based projects. So, step one, be clear on the objective. What's the actual business problem you're solving? Be very specific. So, a bad objective could be we want to use AI for reporting, right? Very generic. A good objective would be we're spending 10 hours a week manually following up with suppliers. We want to automate that. So, a manufacturing firm used this exact clarity to scope a follow up automation tool. They tied it with the open POs in their ERP and saved over 90 hours a month in procurement admin work. AI wasn't the goal, reducing the wasted time was. Step two, clean one data set. Don't boil the ocean. Pick one data source and get it in shape. Examples could be clean up your supplier master before using AI to recommend vendors. Normalize your invoice formats before automating your AP entry. And consolidate HR policy documents before training an AI assistant. A retail business that I worked with in the past failed with AP automation because vendor records had duplicate entries and inconsistent PO numbers. Once they cleaned that one data set, their AI invoice capture tool works seamlessly with their ERP. Step three, Involve the people doing the work. If your end users don't trust the tool, they won't use it. Involve them early. I'll give you a good example. A company rolled out an AI leave assistant without consulting HR. The tool misunderstood the local policy rules and flagged valid requests as errors. Was turned off in a month. So, what was the fix? In another case, an HR team helped define exception rules before the launch. And the results were they had fewer false flags and better adoption. So let the experts shape the tool because they know the rules the system needs to follow. Step 4, assign a single owner. AI needs oversight. Someone has to monitor its outputs, escalate issues, and keep it aligned. In one company, a procurement buyer was made responsible for maintaining the logic behind an AI vendor scoring tool. She reviewed flagged suppliers weekly, tuned the thresholds based on new contract terms, and made sure that the tool stayed useful. Without her, that model would have gone stale within weeks. So pick someone from the business, not IT, who understands the outcome being measured. Step 5 is track real impact. Forget accuracy metrics. Focus on business results. Instead of asking, is the AI 98% accurate? This is the question that I always hear. The ask should be, did this reduce invoice entry time? Did it cut errors? Did it prevent delays? One finance team used AI for GL code classification. Wasn't 100% perfect, but it cut the manual workload by around 60%, and that was the win. They tracked the time saved weekly and expanded the rollout based on that proof. When AI is failing, it's rarely because of the algorithm. It's the setup, the scope, the data, and the handoff. Get these 5 steps right, and even a struggling rollout can start showing results in weeks and not months. I've led ERP and AI implementations across industries for over 20 years, right from defense and manufacturing to retail, government, and small businesses. And every time the formula that has worked is the same: start small, go deep, prove your value, and then expand. So if you're a CFO, a CIO, a COO, or the person stuck fixing broken systems, don't chase the hype that you hear in the market. Don't get distracted by shiny demos. Focus on real problems, build around outcomes, and make your systems work for your business. This channel exists to show you how to make your systems deliver real results. Every week, I break down the same tactics, the frameworks, and lessons that have helped companies unlock millions in value and finally make their technology pay off. Start with this video. It shows how one company lost $10 million because of a single dollar system error and how to avoid it. If you found this useful, subscribe. I release videos every week to help you build systems that drive results and not confusion. And if you want help applying this to your business, my contact details are in the description. You've already paid for the system. Now let's make it pay it back for you. So I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.